Thursday morning. Welcome on in, everybody. Hope you're doing well. It is Thursday, June 27th. We're live, last day of the week for me. I'll be out of here. I got a flight in the morning tomorrow, but we'll be out of, here this, I guess, this afternoon. And I got a couple things I got to do on the prop. One of the accounts, I do have to close out of all my swings by Friday because they're changing brokers. So that's by tomorrow. May I do it today? Potentially. May I do it tomorrow? Potentially. I don't know. We're kind of in between stops and take profits for most of the positions. So we're not really not really a threat to like much to do here. So I'm not like worried about it really. But depending upon what happens today, I might just say, okay, Google, if he has a good day, close enough to my take profit, let's close that. Maybe some other ones as well. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Either way, we had a trade on silver that I got a recap to do today. That one lost, which you'll see in the recaps coming up. I'm behind on them. I mean, I over traded this month, straight up, as simple as that. So that will be coming out in a couple of days. Whenever you see it, you see it. But every day there's a trade recap getting posted pretty much for the foreseeable future, and then that will start to slow down as we move into July. A, travel-wise, so I'm not going to be trading as much, and then B, my plan, more based off of what I have done this month, every so often, you have those periods where you just need that like slap in the face, and this month I think was kind of that for me to like, things were going pretty well, and then it was kind of like, okay, we're doing okay. I started to trade a little bit more. I tried to take more day trades. I was looking at maybe less quality setups. Like they would fit my criteria, but then I would start looking for stuff. Okay. And I learned that it's simply that you don't need to do that. And I've kind of known that in the back of my head, but then, you fall back into it like, well, maybe, maybe there's something here, and maybe, and then you have to get slapped in the face and you learn. So that's essentially what happened this month. But we'll have a monthly recap coming out in early July about what happened and everything, so you'll see it all, which I think will be good information at least to talk about. I can't wait to look at the data for me because I got a lot of questions myself. I was gonna film that like today before I left, but I was like, no. We need to do this. We got to take some time. I'm not gonna rush that. I want to look back at the data. I want to ask the questions myself to me, write them down, and then as we do the video, I want to go through all of those things to at least answer those questions for myself. Because I think it could be good at least to see the thought process. And that's what I want to do in those monthly recap videos anyway. So we'll see what happens. I'm just looking around right now and I'm not really seeing, I'm seeing good stuff. Like I think that we have the potential for a good day, at least overall market wise, but we'll see. Tomorrow's PCE, so you never know what happens there. You've got Apple up decently in pre-market, more than decently. Apple actually looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks like Apple might want to be popping above yesterday's high here and make a run up towards the 220 area. What else? Amazon's also nicely up in pre-market. Yeah, it's going for a new all-time high there, almost pushing $200. Very strong move yesterday on Amazon. What else was interesting? Nvidia's down 1.7 in pre. Because, yeah, Micron had earnings yesterday and they got nailed. So you see semis are not like looking the best, but we'll see how that shakes out. Maybe that completely flips by the end of the day. Target getting destroyed in pre-market. I'm not sure what's going on there. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, we'll watch that. Gold, silver up about 1%. Bitcoin's up 1.2% roughly. Oil's up about 1%-ish. Kind of breaking out over its little consolidation. So, we're just doing what's going on. Hope everyone's having a good morning so far. Market's about to open. Here's the S&P's past couple of days. I think this has been my issue as of late specifically. When the market does this, I don't do great. So, are we surprised by that? No, not. I mean, we had a good period of trending, so maybe I could have been better prepared for that. I don't know. Either way, if you go back into May, how was May overall? No, May was a pretty good trender from early May to about, the 20 something, and then it kind of chopped around or pulled back. But yeah, May was a good month for trending action. All right, market's open. Let's see what we have going on. I mean, the first 5 minutes, first 10 minutes really is a shit show, so I don't really care. But I'm curious to see how things shake out, at least a little bit. I'll watch Google because Google's more interesting to me because I'm in it. I do have a target that's kind of high. I don't know. Can that be hit today? I don't know, man. I doubt it, but you never know. If it breaks 186, I mean, all we got to do is go like $3-ish. I think my target. Let me check. Let me just double check my target on it. I can't check it yet. In like 5 minutes, I can check it. What was that? CRM crossing up. Ooh, yeah. CRM is an interesting chart. We were talking about this one on the stream yesterday. What's going on, Hudson? And this one looked promising. Very promising to me. I mean, I'll keep a close eye on it. Oh, Adobe's crossing up as well. Oh, we got 2 alerts going off so far in the first minute of the day. That's interesting. We haven't had a lot of alerts going off the past couple days. Yeah, I like CRM a lot, is all I'm going to say. Is that swingable? I mean, yeah, it is. But at the same time, I have to be out of all positions by Friday afternoon, so I don't know if I really want to swing that with PCE tomorrow morning. Is it worth it? Probably not. So all these would be probably day trade ideas, you know, if they give me a setup on the shorter time frame. So we'll see. We'll see. But I like those looks. Adobe and CRM. We'll keep an eye on those. We'll come back to those in a minute. We'll see how, the first, you know, give them 5-10 minutes, see how they actually hold up. Another one, holy shit. Oh, yeah, it's Adobe's second alert. I had alerts on both of those lines. Yeah, Adobe looks freaking good. That looks really good on Adobe. But you never know. I mean, they don't have to, they could, you know, reverse. So Google looks really good as well. I mean, Google, if we get above, man, if we get to like 189, I'm going to be very tempted to just get rid of it, the entirety of it. Could it go to like 190? I guess my target's just below 190, I guess. For an exact 2-to-1 risk reward, I'll probably take 189 if we get up there today. So it's got to go about $2.50 from here, which is not that crazy, but it would need to have a decent day. So we'll see. Netflix as well. Let's see how that's doing. Yeah, it looks good. I mean, if Netflix can break to the north of up over 690, I'll probably do the same thing there. Take that off going into tomorrow, because I got to sell these by Friday anyway with the broker change. So, and I think it's a good reset going into July as well. I mean, yeah. So if Netflix can get it, which is not that, Netflix can do it. It's up $5 today already. It can. I've seen Netflix have those $18, $19 days, pretty doable. So we need to have a big day, but it could do it. We'll see what the market gives us today, though. You never know. Maybe the market's like, screw you, we're not getting shit. Also, Meta, really freaking strong on Meta. So my thoughts today, if I'm gonna take any day trades, would probably be looking at Meta today, I think. And then the other ones, the alerts went off, CRM and Adobe. But be careful about those, because I don't usually trade them for day trades, so I'll have to watch them carefully. Pending, there's nothing to really worry about. We don't have like crazy news coming out at like 10 a.m. Pending home sales, I don't think should matter. But tomorrow is the day, so I think we're kind of good. If we get good setups early on, I think it's fair game to play them. So we'll see. So far, Meta really strong, but we have, we're not even after. We're like 3 minutes into the day. Go all in. Yeah, just dump everything into Adobe and CRM. And hope for the best today. It could work, man. Adobe looks good. Could work. You never, sometimes you overthink it. Oh my God, CRM. Damn. But the thing about CRM is it got a massive gap on the daily. Now, it is a questionable play in my view because of the fact that this was a gap down, and we're fairly close to that. So it's like you had a lot of momentum to the downside, but I do like the potential though for at least a move towards 550s, and that could be a day trade worthy today. So we'll see. We shall. I would love if I can get a setup on Meta personally. It'd be more fun to trade Meta. I like Meta more, but I wouldn't be opposed to something else, So Netflix, yeah, Netflix looks good. If we can get a big ass boner candle and blast to an push up over 690 today, I'll be out of that. If we can get that, so we'll see. I actually have Netflix across 3 accounts because I took that swing trade back before I kind of solidified the idea. It was actually, no, I got in like over here. Back before I solidified the idea, like, yo, we're going to do stocks in one account and we're going to do everything else in the other account. So non-stock trades will be taken in the other account. Futures, silver, Bitcoin, and this will allow me to easily identify where my strengths and weaknesses are. So here's Google. I like the chart here. Same kind of idea. If we get a nice thrust today, probably just get out of it because we got to get out anyway by tomorrow. Now, the downside of that is, technically speaking, let's say I hold through everything tomorrow. Yes, you're holding through news, but I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really care that much unless I'm very close to a take profit or a stop loss through a news like that. I'm not going to be day trading around news, but if I'm in a swing, I haven't really felt the need to be like, oh, I can't swing because there's news. Like, no, I'll hold through because my stops are on my swings. I have wide ass stops and wide ass take profits. So it's the move is either going to happen or it's not. And the news will we'll add some volatility in there, but in the grand scheme, it's either going to get there or it's not. I'm not going to let every freaking 5-second piece of news, like, oh, GDP or oh, jobless claims, like then you're saying to yourself, what news do you not hold through? What news do you hold through at that point? So I don't really care to play that game. But if I'm close and there's a massive risk, or there's a risk of the news being a gap down catalyst or a gap up catalyst to blow out my stop farther than I would have liked or than I would like, I will not hold through that news, obviously. That's just kind of how I do it. But everyone does it their own way. So far, good moves today. I mean, you have the S&P. I mean, here's the daily chart in the S&P. It's trying to pop through and get a move back up. Still nearing the top of its range of the past couple of days. So if you are a range guy, you're like, oh, this could be a good short, maybe. NASDAQ trying to break over the top of the range. The Dow looks like shit. Not really, it doesn't look like shit, but the Dow is weak. And the Russell, boring. Bitcoin does look pretty good, pushing up. But yeah, I think that the trade would be probably Meta. It's the strongest. Does Apple have a look? Let's see. Apple could be a candidate. I mean, I it says above 215, could be a candidate for maybe something. Amazon could be a candidate as well if I get a setup on that. AMD probably not. No, AMD will not be a candidate. Microsoft could be a candidate, but it's not the strongest on the day, so I prefer to play one of the stronger names in the day. Google, I mean, could be a day trade candidate, to be honest with you, even though I already have a swing on it. But so far, it's just going up, which we like, obviously, being in the swing. So it's going to be at least another 5-10 minutes before anything potentially could even set up. So Adobe and Seer. Hey, you know what? If they do, it would not surprise me, because we kind of have it. We've had these this environment that has not been super breakouty. It's been kind of pop drop. CRM looks really good. They also, the thing is, for me to trade them, they would need to provide a setup, which going straight up is great if you're in them for swings and stuff, but I want to see a consolidation and then break the consolidation, then I'll get in. Which they can. There's no, and sometimes it doesn't. You want that to happen. You're like, I'm looking for it, and so you'll almost force it sometimes, but like it doesn't happen. Could be trades on the NASDAQ and the S&P today too, maybe. I guess, yeah. I mean, why not? I guess you look at the S&P breaking the top of the recent range. I'd say why not? It's been trending up. I don't know if I love this volume right there, but QQQ. Qs are stronger. So yeah, I think the NASDAQ could be tradable today if it gives me a setup. So we'll keep an eye on it. We shall. Yeah, let's check in on this guy. So my Google target on this, I'm looking at, I guess, two different things kind of. My Google target on this is 186.93, but that's for GOOGL, and I'm looking at Goog. So let's see. How are the prices that different? Yeah, they actually are. They kind of are a couple dollars off. Oh shit, so we're almost there. Right? Oh fuck. Yeah, I'm looking for on Google GOOGL 186.93. So it's got to go another $1.20 roughly, $1.30. So we're actually almost there. So this is a little bit off because I technically took the trade on GOOGL, whereas I track Goog. Maybe I should change that just to make it easier on myself. But either way, if we get this is actually not accurate. This is going to be like down here somewhere like this. Realistically, it's like a 1.75 to 1 or something like that. Maybe even less, maybe like a 1.7 to 1. So we'll be out of that one anyway. Okay, cool. Anything else close? No, nothing else is close to take profits. So that's the only one that we have maybe a take profit there. And then I think Netflix could be, if it goes hard today, could be a candidate, but it needs to go hard, meaning it needs to break these highs and push up into the 690s, and then I would be like, okay, we're close. So we'll see. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. CRM looks so good on the daily chart, though. Just not going to give me a consolidation, though, it looks like. At least for now. Here's Adobe in the 4-hour. Let's check the 5. Wow, Adobe actually could be interesting, but a little choppy for my liking right now. But we'll see how it sets itself. Set it up, tee it up, and then we'll maybe play. Amazon shit. Google looks honestly like it could be even a day trade candidate too. If it gives me, it looks like it might have the opportunity for that. Meta, I would love for you to be the day trade of the day. I would love it to be Meta. I really wish or hope that setup works, but we are waiting for the setup to present. I'll get it ready. We'll get it ready here in case it does, but we would need, I mean, ideally maybe Meta does like some sort of consolidation, game in here. Give me that break of consolidation and then we play it. That what I would love in the next like hour or so. Yeah, Merck, dude. I mean, hey, Merck, honestly though, here's the thing though, you got to think about this one. My view on it was really on the weekly. And that's not a good weekly close by any means. You're getting, I mean, it could change tomorrow, but on the weekly time frame, things kind of like, if you look at eBay, like it kind of can get wonky like that. It could still be a good candidate at some point, but I don't know. Ideally, you'd want to see it close stronger. It doesn't look like it's going to do that. So she's a dud for now. Kick her to the curb. How's Tesla looking? Tesla could be a candidate as long as, oh, what is that? Was that a Tesla 4-hour? Oh, baby. I do like the looks of that. So if Tesla gave me a 5-minute trade, we could play. I kind of like that. But look at that massive candle the past 5 minutes. Jeez. Yep. Just wait. But it looks good, though. Tesla looks really strong. I like the look of that. I think Tesla, a move to $200 is very doable. So see if it maybe consolidates and gives us an opportunity. How about the S&P and stuff? Well, the S&P actually in the NASDAQ could be getting close to trying to maybe set up. As some will call that a 3-bar play, maybe. Not really, but maybe. I don't trade that necessarily. Yeah, the thing about like that mark is like as bad as the weekly doesn't look good, but at the same time, I wouldn't short that. You know what I mean? Like it's not like I wouldn't long it at this point, but I also wouldn't short it. It's kind of like how eBay ended up being. Which, by the way, eBay's a bitch. Yeah, I mean, like it's just like it doesn't do fucking shit. It just fucks around. Like it goes up and down. Like it's so much. You technically broke to a new high here this week, and then it just reverses off. And it's like the market's been kind of holding up, but that's kind of the way eBay's been. What are you gonna do? What's going on, Flippa? Yeah, we're getting close to filling on Google. I don't know exactly where my take. I guess I should probably put it on GOOGL. Because my target is 186, like 90 something. Yeah, 186.93. Which is like, it's got to go another little bit more. Still got to go. I'm not there yet. Netflix looks pretty good. Netflix actually kind of a little bit breakout there. That looks pretty good. Honestly, could have been tradable by itself right there, maybe. Man, not really, but looks strong, so I'll take it. Yeah, if it can get above the 690 today, if it can get there, then I'm out. Microsoft looks pretty good today too. Let's check out the top gainers here. So Meta's number 1, which I like Meta. AMD number 2. I would not trade AMD north to the long side. Google's number 3, which I like that chart there. Microsoft number 4. Really strong though on Microsoft. Breaking out, little 3-bar play right there. That's kind of like what people call a 3-bar play. Boom, pull back in there, and then boom. Not beautiful, but it's pretty good. Apple reversed. Tesla looked good, then it dropped. Nvidia's gap down, but it's coming back from the dead. So she's trying. Yeah, I mean the eBay is just being a bitch, and like there's nothing you can really do, which I think it just kind of confirms like why I don't love, or why I don't know. It's just taken forever. Like it's been since May that I've been this thing. Like about a month. It's like that's why when you kind of know personalities of stocks, like kind of like the tech guys are moving. You know when you got a lot of news going on in a certain sector that those stocks are going to move generally. And semis right now, tech has been where it's at. eBay, I don't know. I mean, what do you want to call that? Retail, like internet retail? I don't know. Techs to a degree, but also it's retail. So it's like, you're asking for it to be slow, pretty much, is my view. But it's all right. So here's Meta. It does look like it's trying to give us a consolidation here. Perfectly what I want to see it do. Like exactly what I want to see it do. It's above levels of interest for sure. So we like it. We like it a lot. Just give me the setup and then we'll play it. But if no setup, no trade. eBay price target announced at $60 a share. That was 2 days ago. Oh, is that why we had the big smashing or the big upper wick day? It got a $60 price target. And then it just got fucked from there. Yeah, things look pretty good. I mean, we have, it's kind of looking like things want to pump today, but PCE is tomorrow, so I'm like, I'll say I'm not trying to be skeptical, but I mean, you never know. You never know. Bitcoin looks interesting. Like it has the potential for this thing to be like, yeah, we're coming back, or we're headed lower. Let's check on other stuff today. What else is going on? Rivian's down 5%. Not surprising after the big move it had the day before. MU. What's mRNA doing? mRNA, man, I thought about yesterday as a short idea, but it looks like it could be even a play today. I'd be careful because it was down so much yesterday, but I think that there's room down to 115 on that. So it could be one to watch, although I mean very, very low chance I would trade that, but you'd have to be looking at me like with a beautiful, beautiful setup. SMCI is up 2% today, 2.25. SPY's coming down pretty fucking hard right now. Here's SPY's chart. Looked really good. Actually, it did have that look of like, oh, here we go, break high a day type of deal. And then it went, sucks. Get fucked, we're going to lows. That's the deal. 1.09 on a 10-year down, which is pretty decent. After yesterday's big day, you kind of see the 10-year, which it looked like it was coiling up. It looked like, honestly, it was going to break down under 4.2%, and then it was like, sucks. We're going up. I'm not surprised, though, that this is going to jump up and down and shit prior to, what's it called? You have tomorrow's PCE. So tomorrow's a big day, PCE-wise. We'll see how that goes. And then I would imagine the 10-year direction, at least in the short term, will either confirm up or will be breaking lows and headed down if we get it's based off of PCE, baby. That's where I would be watching. That determines us, I think, on the 10-year. The dollar has been pretty strong overall, but getting up towards the higher end of the range, so be careful on it. If you I mean, who's trading the dollar? Not many people are going to trade that, but if you were using that as a guide, I don't know. I'm not like skeptical as in like, oh, I'm going to short it, but it's like, just be careful. Let's get into the top of the range. And this has been a spot that it has not done very well. All right. Let's check back in to Adobe and CRM. The alerts we had go off this morning. Adobe shopping around. So not bad. It's up, but not looking amazing. CRM. Oh. CRM. Now here is one that could be an interesting trade. I'm gonna see if we get this consolidation to extend a little bit here. $15 seconds left on this candle. Now the question would be in my head, right, is here's CRM. And then here is Meta. Oh man, I do prefer Meta if I can get Meta. But CRM is stronger technically, but I haven't day traded CRM. I don't know if I've ever day traded CRM. I probably have, maybe a while ago, but Is that a reason to not trade it? I don't know. All right, CRM, just roll over here so that we don't have a competition with you versus Meta, because I prefer Meta if Meta sets up for a breakout. I'd much prefer Meta. So we'll see. Dude, eBay, you just fucking suck. eBay needs to just shut the fuck up and go up. Yeah, Google's getting freaking close to take profit. It's very close to take profit on Google. It's like very close. Just needs it to pop. Oh yeah, Google needs to just pop. Google actually would be a good trade, not gonna lie. Now, I don't know how, I'm kind of skeptical of it, but I mean, it's tradable. That's the consolidation I'm looking for. So if it breaks it, I mean, yeah, why not? Get a 2-for-1. Day trade and a swing trade, take profit hit if it breaks out here. 2-for-1. I mean, not really, because you're taking 2 trades. It's not really taking, you know, but you know what I mean. Yeah, that looks better to me. Meta's still #1 gainer, at least on my main large cap list. Meta's still #1 gainer, so I like that. I prefer that, but Google's #2. And if it breaks out first, it's stronger technically. So I think I'm going to pull up Google and get it ready. And we'll see. I'll queue the trade up, and then, I mean, I don't know if it'll fill, but we'll queue up the buy stop order. So we got about a 5 cents spread on this guy. So we got to go to like 74, 75. 185.75 will be the entry point. If we get in, if it triggers. So if that's the case, what's the bottom of the consolidation here? I mean, this lower wick probably be a decent spot. 185 would be a good stop loss zone. And then for that to make us any money, we'd probably have to target like 187, which actually is right around my target on the other guy. So yeah, 186.93 would be the target on both trades. So that's actually a pretty good trade idea. So now let's just increase our position. So we were risking approximately $90 to make 141. That sounds like a good trade to me. And we'll see what happens. Now we wait. Yeah, I like Google's chart better. I do. And Google on the daily time frame is has broken out already. So yeah, can we get the extension and make a nice little pop? Is all we're really asking for. We'll see. We'll see. But it's got to break the flag. Breaks the flag to the north, then we are looking for, well, I guess I can pull up, I should pull up GOOGL. Why is there 5 ticker or 5 letters? I don't know, but whatever. This would be, yeah, here's the trade. If it pans out, it would be like right here. Stop loss right here. I could probably put the stop loss a little bit higher, to be honest with you. I could probably put it a little bit higher. 185, like 10. Probably could be where the stop goes, but let's just go with what I have for now. And then take profit is right here. That's the trade. If it works, that is the trade. Or if it fills, like if it breaks. I could probably move my stop up 10 cents, and I'm going to do that really quick. Actually, let's see if it fills, then I'll move it up. Looks like it might get close, though. It's getting close. And it is, if it does break out right here, it is going to break out before Meta, it looks like. So you're playing the stronger name here. Filled. We're in. Let's see what happens. I'm going to move my stop to that 185.10 area. Make sure I use the correct position. 185.09 will be my stop loss. So risking like $80 essentially. Risking $80 on a 10K account for context. That's what the account size is. And I'm out of water. So we're gonna have to dry ride this baby. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I mean, the thing is, Google is number 2. Well, not really, actually. Other stuff has now moved ahead of it, technically. But if you look at the chart setups, Google's chart setup, to be honest, is the strongest setup that I see. Tesla is all over the place. It's strong, I guess, but it's all over the place. Microsoft kind of looks good, but Google's setup was the strongest that met my criteria for sure. Not even close. So, oh shit. Here's the chart we're looking at. This guy. So, but it looks kind of slow. I don't know. We'll see. I want to see volume on this candle. This candle, this is technically like it broke at the end of this candle, so this candle's got low volume. But this candle is really the candle we got filled on. So far it's good on volume. I want to see that just keep pushing, and I want to see it close strong. Ideally, we'll see. Meta still hasn't broken out. Meta has a good look though, but it has not broken out yet. So we are in the stronger looking play. That's all you can do. Bigger time frames align, smaller time frames align. That's all you can ask for. Seriously. That's all I can ask for. Netflix is looking pretty good too. I guess we can check out that Netflix chart. Might as well, right? Oh, look at that. Didn't realize. Netflix just broke out to the upside to the new high day. I don't really trade Netflix on a 5-minute time frame. Not something that I really do, but I think it's a little bit choppier. I prefer on the swinger from a swinger perspective, but swing trade looks good. If the market has a decent day, holds up decently, which you never know, still very early, only a half hour in, I think Netflix could pop into the 690s. Why not? It's got to go like $2.50 more. I mean, why not? How's the Googler doing? All right, not bad. Still got to go. It's got to go another $1 up. We need another $1 of upside. So, not a lot of momentum behind this candle, really, I guess. But that's kind of how the week's been. I'll be honest. Gold. What's going on with gold? Oh shit. That was a big pop. Damn. Huh. It's a very big breakout. Mirror these lines here. A sober look. Silver could be a false breakout candidate. I mean, a false breakdown candidate from yesterday. I mean, I can see the idea. I played it short on the breakdown, then got, slapped. Not slapped. I mean, this guy's just lost. But, yeah. So it goes sometimes. Netflix, 1 hour. Tesla. There's not a lot that Tesla looks like it's trying to push up. Google doesn't now look like it's looking good. Like could be a false breakout candle now there. We'll see what happens. Don't love it, but technically speaking, still one of the stronger looking charts. Yeah, I have been getting, I think on futures, Bitcoin, I traded some futures last week. I think I had a good win on one and I lost on 2 or 3. I had a Dow break even that was like kind of demoralizing because it got so close to the take profit, and then I ended up moving my stop to break even, and then it came all the way back, hit the stop, and I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. This needs to be adjusted up to 185.09, so that's where the stop is. Dude, all I'll say too on this is if this one loses too, I mean, I'm just getting absolutely fucked this month. Nothing's working. But it's like exactly the setup that I'm looking for though. Exactly the setup that I trade. So all you can ask for is to see the setup and to be there to pull the trigger. They're not going to work all the time. It's not working that great though, I'll tell you that for now. I mean, ideally, if in a perfect world, when these things work well, they break out, they pop off, that first 5-minute candle closes fairly strong, and then we get the continuation, and then we usually, hit take profit within 30 minutes. Within 30 minutes is when if it works, if we're working good on the 5-minute and where we got momentum, take profit is usually hit within 30 minutes. Generally speaking, 5-minute trades should not take longer than that for me, and when they do, they tend to lose. Not always, but they tend to be choppy and probably lose. The reason why I say because technically the short like if it's a false breakout, usually it false breaks out and then it breaks down and goes and then stops me out pretty quick, and those trades tend to be pretty short. So that's why technically because it doesn't have to go as far to hit the stop loss as in the take profit. No, yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how it is. Some months is just that's how it's going to be. There's nothing you can do about it. I think that's just how real trading it actually is, but it still doesn't feel good. I mean, you'd love to see every month be good as it averages out, but it's not. Just the reality is it's not the case. Meta's still in that consolidation. Hasn't broken out yet. Based off of what I've seen the past 2 days or past a week and a half, my gut is like, dude, you can probably could just sell this thing and just say fuck it. It's not working right now. That's what my gut wants me to say. What it wants me to do? Just to say, yeah, fuck this. Don't bother. We're not getting momentum. Screw it. Although, chart looked the best. Just because the chart looks good, though, does not mean that it has to work. That's another thing that people always get caught up into. They like, oh, yeah, because this chart looks so good, I'm gonna, and then you stop out where you don't. I don't do this, and I highly recommend no one does. Would never recommend to move a stop down, I guess on the long, and then up on a short. Don't. Only make the stop smaller so you can lose less. Don't make it bigger to lose more. Your original spot. Now, do you say at the same time, okay, well, Google is kind of doing whatever. Do you trade Meta on this breakout here? If Meta breaks, it's good looks. I mean, yeah, it could. Google's probably going to stop us out here, though. Probably. Do you trade Meta if it breaks out? I don't know. Like to look at that chart, to be honest with you. We would need to break 521.70. Still got a ways to go. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. That's all you can do, man. You really can't. There's no, because the thing is, like, you'll go months where it works so good. So now you say to yourself, okay, well then, what do you do? Do you change things up? How do you change things up? That's where it gets complicated. I think it's not very easy to do that, because then you're playing a different game every month or every setup, and it's like, is that really what you want to be doing? I think I will definitely trade meta if it breaks out, and if that doesn't work, if we do 2Ls, then I'm done with this shit. Just ain't working this month. That's it. Meta would still be the #1 gainer on the day. Well, it's right up there with Amazon. Amazon looks pretty good too. Meta and Amazon are going back to back. How's CRM? Well, CRM's breaking out right now as I speak. Problem is, it's just like a little bit more wonky of a stop loss to be had. I would put my stop loss. I'd have to put it down here based on the way I do things. So I don't think that's worth it to me. Risking that like $2, I got to make 4, which means it's got to go to like 153, which means it's got to go like all the way up here, which is a fat. Could do it, but it's a big ass move. So I probably won't do that. All right, let's get this meta queued up. All right, so stop's going to be under 519. And then take profit's going to have to be 520. Like, what is that? 525? Is that too much? Is that really what it's going to have to be? That's like, is that crazy to think? 525? No, that's not that crazy. 525.50 probably be a decent TP. Let's look back to the charts here. I don't know, man. 519 seems like a way down here. Seems like it would be pretty far. Maybe 519.50, 519.40, 519.25. And then 525. It's kind of not the best of risk reward setups, to be honest, based on how I'm seeing it. But I don't think I would go higher than 525. Take profit. I think that's where I'd want it to be personally. So we're about to get stopped on Google, I believe. We're like edging the stop loss. Any second it should hit. So, and this is just, exactly what you wouldn't want to see. Could you have seen that and gone, okay, nope, on this candle and minimize the loss? You could have probably done that. I don't know. All right, so the meta order is set. If it breaks out, well, we are in. Meta just nipped high a day. Now let's see. Stop loss on this one is underneath this guy. So let's see. Let me just put the trade in there. Right there, and we're looking for 525. It's not that crazy target wise. It's not even the best. It's not really that great a risk where I probably could look for more than that. Looking at that now, 525.25 is probably a better target to be had, or 525.50. Yeah, 525.49 is where I'm going to go for. All right, let's see what happens. Dude, I was looking back too. I'm pretty sure I lost. I had a good January. I believe I lost in February? No. Did I? I can go back and find it. But I believe March and April. I think I had a good January, a decent February. March, April, I think I lost both months, or I was like, I think I made like $80. I was like just barely north of break even on one of those months. I lost on one of them, but I felt like that span of 2 months was like so awful. Like I was like this, it felt like I couldn't win shit. That's how it felt. I mean, looking back, not as bad as this month. This month though, I did size up and I did have a $315 stupid ass fee that fucked me on like the second week of the month. That was not, it had nothing to do with my trading. So that also throws it off and makes it look like I actually suck more ass than I do. But holy shit, Google. Ladies and gentlemen, we may have just been saved. This came within, I kid you not, 2 cents of stop loss. 2 cents away from stopping me out. And it did not. Now, if it rolls over from here, okay, I'll take the L, I'll stop me out, but we may be alive. Meta broke out. We'll see. We'll see. If they both were to go, we have two of what I believe are the best looking charts of the day right now. And if it's not going to go, it's not going to go. It's not meant to be. Not our day, not our week, not our month. And that's it. So we'll watch them. We'll see what happens. That's why, I like the volume profile. Why? Because I put my stop loss just below this fucking volume shelf. And sometimes you get lucky. Could have got stopped out. I didn't. And here we are. Now we ride. Still got a ways to go, though. So, I mean, doesn't mean shit yet. But a good sign that it didn't hit, that it bounced that aggressively, kind of off that low. So, we'll see. Likes to edge first. Yeah, that's very true. I feel like I've been edged this past 2 weeks. There's been a lot of those situations where I've just been like, all right, hit a stop loss already or hit take profit already, and then whatever. Google, the secondary piece on Google is that if it hits the top of this take profit area, I am out of my Google swing and also the Google day trade. So it kind of kills two birds with one stone. This would be exactly where my target is on the swing trade. So it's a 2-for-1er, kind of. So we'll see how it goes. Meta, I think, has a better potential upside today. But, Google's just looking good. So what can you say? It's kind of rare that I'm in 2 trades at the same time, because I pretty much was fully expecting Google to have stopped me out by the time I got in the meta. I was like, okay, Google stops me out. We'll try meta now. As meta starts to break out, we'll go 2 shots, and if they lose, they lose, and we're done. But somehow Google never hit the stop loss yet, so we stay alive. But something up here, though, it's struggling. I'm curious if is this a level of interest in the past? Up around 186, is that an area? No, not really. No, we're just into new all-time high territory. So yeah, we're just looking for momentum. That's all we're looking for. We're not, simple as that, really. How's Netflix doing? No, it really hasn't done shit. Well, it's not bad. It's just like we're like, we gotta push above this area right here. We're close, but that's your next area to push through. Maybe tomorrow, but then again, PCE tomorrow, so who the fuck knows? All right, back to Google. I feel like in a scenario like when this occurs, I just feel like you've got a better chance this is gonna go, but at the same time, don't mean shit. Yeah, the fake out trade is a good idea. That's why I've implemented that a little bit as part of the strategy. The only problem that I have is like my issue is determining when it's valid. You know, when is the fake out trade really valid, or is it more like when is it more valid? You know what I mean? Because it's you can find them all the time, but then it's like, okay, how do we kind of determine when one is better than the other? You know what I mean? Because the reason why I say that is because while yes, the fake out could be really good, when do you determine that this is the fake out, and then how far of a target do you look for? And then you risk the high of that fake out, I guess, right? But how far do you determine the target? And if you're in a stock that has been very strong, not only today, but just over the past couple of days, for example, or bigger time frame wise, you are fighting that bigger picture trend. So I have kind of just found that like you kind of got to look for like almost like a 1-to-1 risk reward. It's like looking for more than a 1-to-1 isn't maybe as common as you think, and doesn't mean that it ends up kind of reversing like it won't and then going back up like this. So you might not get blown out, but like you could have situations where fake out, pull, and then it just kind of does this. You know what I mean? Because it's been strong, and then it's like, well, now what? You don't lose a lot or you don't win a lot, but then it's like you can be in these trades that could take a lot longer. And so I don't know. I found that like I prefer to stick to the fake out trades in a bigger picture. Like if I was trading a fake out right here on Google, I would prefer Google to be like in a bigger picture downtrend. You know what I'm saying? Just tends to be a better opportunity. But then like that's not that common. It's not a common trade. So I haven't been able to gather a lot of data on that because it just doesn't happen that much. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. But the idea behind, you see some of them and they are nasty. But that's like few and far between from what I've found. I find that like they're a lot more difficult to find huge ass, fake out moves like that. RSI, okay. Yeah, you could say that too. There's been like it's also kind of one of those things too where I kind of think I'm like it's almost like a super subjective trade, which in like super discretionary, like you kind of have to make that call based off your own intuition, which then kind of gets challenging. As in, how do you like you can track, I guess, your own results based off your own shit, but it gets it can get a little confusing, I think, when you start doing that. Because there was one last week on AMD where the thing was up 7% and it had a breakout to new high a day. And I was like, oh, this could be, I played it long. Then I was thinking to myself, yo, dude, you're getting into a breakout on this thing as it's pushing new high a day right now, as it's up like 7.5%. At some point, this ain't going to work. And that's when it had the false breakout and then reversed. And I was like, yeah. And then it reversed huge. And I was like, man, like that's kind of one of those where it's like, past me would say, yeah, I know it's strong on the day. Yeah, I understand that we're breaking out to the upside, but if it fails this breakout, I'm going to get in short. I just didn't get in short because I'm like, we have strength, so I'm not going to do it. And then it ended up rolling over and doing kind of what I thought it would do. But it's like one of those where it's like, can you build a strategy around that? I don't know, because every stock is different. Every situation is different. How do you determine when one is better than the other or more probable than the other? You have to track a lot of data, and then I find that it's just difficult to get that data. But over time, I think I'll get it. I mean, I'll gather more and more over time, and we'll have more of it. So here's Google. Actually, let me just put this on my list so it's easier to come back to. And get rid of, I guess I'll get rid of that guy. Let's go to Meta. So it broke out It did have decent volume on the 2 candles that just popped it, but I mean, looks like a similar situation, right? You got a false pop. It's kind of how it looks right now. Yeah, I see the discretionary aspect. I agree that's kind of the way it has to be, though, to a degree. I mean, I don't know. I think it would be difficult for. I think trading in all aspects, there is a discretionary aspect to some degree. You want to kind of, I guess in theory, you want to minimize that. Like, you don't want to have it to be like, you don't want there to be too much, because then it can be easy to fall into, think about when you start to go into drawdown and then you start playing games and then you start doing shit you shouldn't be doing, and then you're like, oh, fuck. So it's easy to have that hurt you, but like it kind of has to be. So why everyone, or not everyone, but why a lot of people say, well, back to Google, by the way, Google looks stronger. Meta may be not as strong. We'll see. Either way, if one of these works, if just one of these works, we have a green day. So if both lose, then par to the course for the month, and that is what it is. But no, yeah. As you get more experience and as more time goes on, what you end up having is like you have more data up here and more experience with yourself and how you trade and your whatever. So when you have all that stuff, you're able to make potentially better decisions. It could still hurt you because, if you don't have a fully set systematic approach, when are you going to stop? When are you going to keep going? When are you going to change when are you going to change things up? Are you going to keep to the same risk reward? Are you going to overtrade? It's going to be easy to fuck yourself, essentially, which is why it's so difficult. So when you have a lot of emotional control and you really understand yourself, how you think, what certain things, what leads you to do certain things, I think you're in a much better position. But that takes time and it's not easy, which is why I think trading is a lot more mental. Everyone says that, right? It's very cliche, but it's like it really is a lot more mental than it is technical. Yeah, that is true. I think that's true. You kind of, as a retail guy, I mean, maybe it'll come to me, the idea and the thought will come to me more in the future and like put it together. But to like make it make more sense to myself. But as to why that's the case to a degree, a bit more, and then how that could be used to your benefit, because I think it can. I think it definitely can. Here's Microsoft breaking out. So good looks there. Now, that's stronger than the 2 trades that we have currently on. Meta, which looks like kind of shit now. Google does look better. But, I mean, I don't know. Microsoft's looking strong. Markets just in general looking strong. How's Apple? AMD's kind of looking like it wants to. I wouldn't trade this, but there's your breakout area. Amazon looking pretty good overall. Meta looks like ass. And that's it. Damn, dude. That's exactly it. That is exactly it. It's awesome when you're winning because you're kind of feeling like you're riding this wave and you kind of things are rolling. But when you're losing, it causes you to question a shit ton of things. Your strategy, yourself, like it causes you to question a lot of things. And then is that good? Is that going to be beneficial to you? How do you get yourself out of that rut? I don't know. It's not as easy as you might think. I just looked back, by the way, too, at my stats. I'll talk more about this in the monthly recap. I looked back at my stats for the year. So we're about to be halfway through the year. It's a good time to look at that stuff. And I was looking back at my stats for the year, and I was like, okay, let's see how things are. Currently, I'm up like $1,800 on the year as of yesterday. And I was like, okay, cool. What's my win rate and stuff? My win rate, I believe, was a 43 and change % win rate so far this year. And I'm up like $1,800. Now, I'm trading on a $10,000 account and a $25,000 account. Those are the two accounts I've been trading on all year. Technically, there's a $6,000 account in there too, but that one's been testing. It's been for testing, and it's been some trades I copy, some I don't. So it's been a little bit tough, and they're very small sizes. So essentially, though, we've been on a 10K and a 25K to do that, which just shows you, I think, the reality of how much money you probably like really need to do like damage or to make, significant money. All right, so Meta, which looked the best, be honest, the volume was there, bigger picture time frames were there, everything was there. It was the strongest stock of the day. Now, unless we get miraculously saved like Google did a minute ago, or 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, looks like it's going to lose. And I believe Google is doing the same exact thing. It looks like it's also going to lose. So we're probably going to lose on both, based off what I'm seeing right now. You can't make it up, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I could lose the Meta and win the Google, and I make money on the day, and I would. Problem is, if I lose both, it doesn't really matter. You lose both. You lose both. In a perfect world, yes, I would win one, lose one, and they'd be like, "Oh, I made money. I'm not going to complain. That is what it is." But when your win rate is pretty shit, and you just lose both, it's not much you can do about it. Although, again, same thing. I was saying too, like, okay, like that's how it's been this month. It is what it is. Maybe next month is going to be amazing, or August will be amazing, or maybe the next couple months are going to be kind of shit, and then it's going to be an amazing fall. For all I know, I could lose. Let's say I can lose $1,000 a month for the next like 3 months, and then have a $4,000 month in August or September or October, and be like, oh, it's all made back, But that's just again with the sizing. What I was saying about the sizing too was that, oh yeah, because I was like, okay, well, my sizing was on a 10K account and a 25K account. Those are the two accounts I've been trading on so far this year to make $1,800. And that's after losing like 1,000 or more than that so far. I was up like 3K at one point on the year. And then I think I lost this month. I've lost like 1,100 so far, maybe 12, maybe a little bit more after these, maybe 1,300 after these, which kind of sucks ass. But, last month I made 1,600. So, I mean, felt like it was a pretty good month, and I had a 66% win rate, something like that. This month, maybe not so much. 30% win rate. But yeah, back to the sizing. The progression is I'm going to move up to a $200,000 challenge account once I pass the 10K account, which I'm very close to doing. But I'm moving up to a 200. So I'm like, well, do the math on that. Then that would mean your position sizing is going to 20x. So I, quickly doing the math on now trading with 20x what you were trading with, right? The power of a prop firm, I think at least. If you do the math on $1,800 on the year times 20, because you're trading with 20,000 or 20x more size, now you're up 36,000 on the year. And I'm having a fucking shit year. I'm winning 43% of the time. I've had my worst month in the past year, this month. I had 2 months of actual shit, March and April. Like I just felt like I couldn't get anything to work, even though I was like just north of break even 1 month and I lost a little bit 1 month. I feel like I've had no good months, but I'm up 1,800, trade with more money, you're up 36,000. So it's like that's just the power. That's the power of more capital. So and maybe that's part of the game too. It's like mentally, you're like, oh, this sucks ass or whatever. But if you were trading with more money and I saw that I was up 36,000, would I say it sucks ass? Probably not. I'd probably like, hey, we're up 36K. That's like the salary for like some, like look at the US average salary. It's like, maybe, I don't know if it's where it actually is. I should say, yeah, $37,000, right? So in 2022. Now, depends upon where you live. That might seem super low or whatever to some people in the cities and wherever. It depends on where you live. But, you do the, like, oh, shit. It changes your perspective of it. I think we're going to get stopped on Meta here. Yup. Any second, and we get stopped on Meta. There it is. So, stopped on Meta. Still in Google, but doesn't look great. I mean, higher lows, I guess, but headed down. The breakouts are not breaking out, essentially, today, ladies and gentlemen. They are not breaking out. Well, yeah, exactly, though. If you made 36K, you'd be like, and we're halfway through the year, so you're on pace to make 70K, roughly. But it's all about the perspective you have of it. This looks like it's probably going to stop out. We're going to get stopped on 2 live. It looks like today, which, dude, I'm telling you, man, this has been, this has to be, I legitimately, maybe it's been a while since I've had a streak this bad. This has to be the worst streak I think I have ever had in the past year and a half that I could say, because I've been tracking for the past year and a half. Yeah, roughly. It's been not just one of those days. It's been one of those weeks, and it's been one of those months. Started off with the fee, getting charged that fee on the crypto that I traded, which I didn't need to trade looking back, but I did, and I was like, hey, it looks good. And hey, by the way, it ended up going to my target eventually. So my mind was kind of there. I kind of had the idea, but hit my stop first, whatever. The trade just didn't work out, which is fine. It's just, it's part of the game. But then the fee was like $315 on a trade that should have lost like 90. And I was like, well, that's, essentially like I just lost 5 trades in one trade, which starts me off with a great, start to the month. And then on top of that, having a 30% win rate the rest of the month was just like, oh fuck. Not what you want to see. We'll say the volume has been pretty low on Google so far the last couple of candles, which the volume was good on the upside candles. It's been pretty low on these downside candles. How much you want to care about that, I don't know. Check on Meta's chart. I mean, Meta, same thing. The breakout candles were stronger, which tells you that maybe there's more conviction of moving higher. It's exactly what I want to see, and what in my past experience has worked very, very nicely and provided very good periods of trading for me. So these are good trades. They were not bad trades in my mind at all. They're actually very good trades. Both of these charts on the bigger picture time frames, I believe, are breaking all-time highs. So, you got momentum. Your bigger picture time frames. Now someone could say, well, why would you go long at all-time highs? That's what I do. I trade breakouts. I don't trade against the trend. And so we break out. Now, you could say, oh, are we up? No, we're not up that much. Google's up 0.8 on the day. Meta was up 1.2. If Meta was up 5% and Google was up 7% on the day, and we're at all-time highs, and we've gone straight up the past day, okay, I understand. Maybe we're a little overextended. We're not really overextended, so very valid trades. It's exactly what I look for, and so it is what it is. My win rate this month is like 31% right now. On the year, it's like 43%, but profitable on the year. This month, definitely not. I can be profitable based off my strategy at around a 40 or higher win rate. If I'm winning 40+% of the time, I'm profitable based on how I manage my risk. Last month, I had a 65% win rate or something like that. Had a great month. It's not going to be. It's definitely not going to be the same because these types of trades last month worked very, very well. Now, obviously, not every trade works, right? But in general, throw a collection of 10 of these setups that I'm getting this month, and maybe fucking 3 of them worked, and last month maybe 7 of them worked. That's kind of how it goes. There's no way to guarantee this month versus that month. I wish I knew we were going to have a good month. I wish it was easier to tell, but it's not. And that's the game, the art of trading, right? So Google has now given us what I believe is now 2 decent tests to the bottom end of the range around 185, which stop loss is right under net level for a reason. So we'll see if it holds on. Eventually, if it can't go, I would imagine it rolls over, but maybe it doesn't. The thing though is, like, I don't know, like, the whole idea of moving somewhere else, first off, I don't know how that would be in terms of like legitimately moving there, like full time, either renting or owning a property there. Probably renting, I would think. I don't know if I would want to commit to that if you don't know the areas very well, but if you give it, I don't know how that works with like citizenship and stuff, because in theory the idea sounds cool and I would not be opposed to that one day. But I just don't know how realistic it actually is. Costa Rica, I've never been to Costa Rica, but from the things that I've heard and from what I've seen, Costa Rica sounds like an incredible place to go. Just living in Costa Rica with like a nice like open concept villa looking thing in the jungle-y kind of feel. Probably got a lot of bugs and shit in your house, but I don't know if you're like, if you don't mind that stuff, who cares? And then hit the beach, surfing. They got like tons of fruits that grow there. I'm sure there's like some incredible stuff you can get there. Food wise, it's probably beautiful. Weather's awesome. I mean, sounds like an amazing opportunity. And not even trading perspective, think about it from like if you save up a couple $100,000, I mean, you can probably live off of the cash flow from your portfolio in a place like that pretty easily. You don't need to be making 100K a year to live in Costa Rica just fine. It's all about quality of life and what people want. If your quality of life in Costa Rica could probably be really freaking good at a 50K salary. Whereas 50K in New York City, you're fucked. You can't live in New York City unless you're literally living in a rat hole or on the streets. I mean, I have a friend who lives there and paying like crazy in rent. I think he was paying more than what my rent was in Austin, and I was splitting it in Austin, and he pays like more than that just for himself, and he has roommates. And I was like, dude, that's crazy. But that's New York City for you. All right, Google. At this point, just hit something. Hit target, hit stop. Just get me out. Get me out. If Google went to the target, though, we would have obviously what did we lose on Meta? Meta lost 79.56, and that was on a 10K account, by the way. If Google goes to take profit and hits take profit, we would make 141. So that's actually really good. But that means it has to go to take profit and it has to actually hit. If it does not, which it looks like it's not going to do that, I would say, based off what I'm seeing, we're going to lose about the same, 79.20. Which is not bad. I mean, that's two sub $80 losses. Call them $80. Two $80 losses. That's right where I want to be because I know my winners are much bigger than that. It's right where I want to be for being wrong. But it's like, how many more are we going to have in a row? And it's not like I'm forcing shit, dude. I'm telling you right now. You see it. These are not forced. No, these are not. So, yeah, Meta drilling lows here. So that just straight up didn't work. Great setup, though. Just didn't work. Google about to probably drill lows here. I would imagine if you're putting pressure like this on our lows, I think we're going to get stopped out any second. Any second. Unless somehow it saves us right here, which would be the third time. I don't think third time is going to be a charm today. Third time is probably a charm to break down, I would think, today. But you never know. It's why you put the stop on and you just see what happens. I guess you could have walked away, but we're on a stream, so we don't walk away. It'd be kind of boring if I did. Although maybe it's better sometimes. No, yeah, New York. I mean, I lived in Connecticut for a while, so New York was a frequent destination. I actually had family that was in Brooklyn for a while, and so I would go to New York a lot as a kid, and I absolutely hated it. Hated New York. Like, I was like, why would anyone want to live here? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I was like, this place is terrible. Like, New York City was so gross. Even like the suburbs, like, they're gross to me. I was like, this is terrible. I would never want to live here. Never. Never. But that's me, though. Some people love the city. I mean, I just did not. It's disgusting. It's dirty. There's too many people. Way too many people. So I guess we did get a bounce off that exact spot on Google yet again, believe it or not. And that's a massive save. So maybe this one, the gods are looking out for us here. The trading gods are looking out for us today. Let's see what else is going on while this just does its thing, I guess, because it's boring. How's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin was looking good. It broke out, pulled back now. Gold trending higher. Silver pushing kind of. The Russell's looking good generally. And the Dow's come back to life here today. NASDAQ not so much, and the S&P not so much. Hence why Meta did not work. The Dow picked up steam as we lost steam in tech. Oh yeah, how is Adobe looking today? That ended up going? Oh, it did. It did. So the alerts were good, man. The alerts were they worked out good. I could have traded Adobe, would have been a valid idea, would have worked really, really well. And then CRM, I'm probably going to look at CRM and go, fuck me. Ah, you can't make it up. You can't make it up. You just can't. Oh, the two trades that we had alerts on, or the two setups we had alerts on, the only reason why I didn't trade them was because they were probably going to be more so swing trades. And I'm like, initiating a swing trade today, knowing that I've never traded these stocks on the 5-minute time frame. But initiating a swing trade today, knowing that tomorrow is PCE and I have to sell all, I have to be flat in my account by tomorrow afternoon. I was like, is that giving myself ample time to swing trade? Probably not. But yeah, damn. Damn. You hate when they do, you hate to see it sometimes. You hate to see it. Because where our original looks were good. And the two looks that we went with, because I was more familiar with them, is really all it was. Google and Meta, I'm just like, I'm more familiar with these guys, and I much rather trade a 5-minute breakout on Google or Meta versus a 5-minute breakout on Adobe or CRM, which I just haven't traded the 5-minute breakouts on those ever. So I'm like, why am I going to do something that I've never done before and don't have data on, whereas I have data on these guys, the large cap tech, that I can use to my advantage. Today it didn't work. Exactly. It's the ones you don't take that are ones that go. And that just kind of perfectly caps off, I think, the month. Perfectly caps the month off right there. Because this is the last day that I'll be on my computer pretty much this month. Perfectly caps it off. Shitty month followed by 2 major missed opportunities. Although I'm not, you can't blame, I can't blame myself for that, because again, I did what I had data on. I did what I've known works over the course of the past 15 months. So what am I going to say? 15 months of data, am I going to toss it out the window and say, no, I like this chart? I would have swung them though. Definitely would have swung them. CRM, how, if I swung it, what would I look for? I would be looking for, let's say I would have entered on the breakout here. Stop under 140 roughly, 139.50. And for a 2-to-1, a simple 2-to-1, I would be looking for about 262. 260 probably be a good target to have. That's, you know, about 1.7-to-1. Just a psychological spot. So we're not there yet, obviously. Adobe, I would probably go with a, let's see. If I got in on like this area right here, I'd go stop loss under here. It could go breaking candle, but also got to give it some room. And then the gap to fill is up right to where 568 is. So that's probably where I would target. 568. About 1.75 to 1 roughly. Risk reward. So, I mean, we would have to be in those trades, and they would probably have to be held over the weekend, which again, I can't do as of right now because I have to cut all my positions off. Again, another reason though why the prop firm stuff, there's just little shit like that yes, well, it could be really good because you can get access to a lot more money than you may have to trade with and maybe lower risk. Well, it could be good. At the same time, you got to think to yourself, if I didn't have in the back of my head the thought of, well, I have to be flat by Friday afternoon because they're changing brokers, again, out of my control, would I have just said, no, I'm going to swing those? Probably would. Why not, right? Those are valid setups on time frames. You know, will they work? Yet to be seen. So who knows? So far today, they're up. But would they be good on the bigger picture? Who knows? Only time will tell. But another factor that you got to think about that could throw you off, right? Little shit like that, though, could be the difference between, you know, like a 30% win rate and a 40% win rate at the end of the month, which could be different between profitability in my example. Yeah, my only problem about Mexico is that if I was to go to Mexico for an extended period of time outside of like a resort location where it's like, you know, whatever, I because they take it like I've heard so many stories about like even like taxi drivers and shit just taking advantage of you. I would want to be very not fluent but very fucking good at Spanish, so I'm not gonna get, you know what I mean, so I can easily communicate with people and I would not be getting fucked by like some stupid shit. Because they definitely, I've seen so many stories that I'm trying to take advantage of tourists and whatever. So I feel like you'd have to, not that you'd have to, I would want to. I would really want to know. And I went to school in high school. I took Spanish for like, actually, we took it in middle school. So I took it 3 years in middle school, and I took it two years in high school at least. At least 2 years in high school. So I took Spanish for 5 years, and I don't know shit. I know like very basic Spanish. That's it. Some words I remember. When I hear them, I'm like, oh, they're talking about a bus or they're talking about the library. Like that's all I get. Well, in the case of Google here today, we're now about an hour and a half into the day, and we do just have, I mean, a fat ass consolidation. Now, will the consolidation break to the north? Remains to be seen, but we are kind of right smack in the middle of a consolidation, really. So, I don't love how we are approaching, 11 a.m. Eastern. It's not that early. Approaching the midday hours, 11 to 1, and we are potentially not doing shit, which means we might just be sitting flat here. But end up that Rosetta Stone. No, but yeah, if you're gonna travel there, like, and you don't know where you're going and what you're doing, there are some areas that are not the most safe. That's for sure. Although that's the case anywhere. You can sit anywhere, but I think I saw like a stat or something like that. Like some crazy number of like Mexican politicians were killed in the past like year or the past couple of years, like recently, and I'm like, that's insane, but also like probably normal with the cartels and gangs and stuff. Like, not surprising, but also that's insane. Like, imagine if like people running for office in the U.S. at different states and different cities and shit were just being killed left and right. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm probably should happen. It should probably happens, but definitely not to the degree that it probably happens in Mexico. That's for sure. In the U.S. Definitely disappointed in Meta though, man. I thought that had good potential today. I thought it had the best look overall, and then just said, sorry. Otherwise, though, I see no charts that are otherwise looking good. We were looking at stuff earlier. There's nothing. I mean, Amazon, no. Choppy as fuck. Microsoft, no. Nvidia's weak, but also just a no. It's a no-go. So there's nothing here that's getting me going other than what we already had. So we'll see. Maybe it's meant to be on Google. Maybe it's just meant to be. Maybe she goes. Finished my water way too early. Now I'm thirsty. Sweat a shit ton this morning on the run. Super hot, super humid. Yeah, a couple days ago it was not that humid, but it was super freaking humid today. It could just go sideways all day. I wouldn't be surprised. Would be funny. Although it is showing maybe some minor relative strength to the S&P, which is good. Does that mean much? I don't know. But maybe it means something. Oil 5-minute. How are we feeling about getting oiled up here today? It's trying to get up there. I have not been oiled up in a while. I can't remember the last time I traded oil. GameStop is popping a little bit today. Hey, look at that. Wonder if there's news on it. Let's see. Nothing that I can see, at least. Alrighty, what do we got? Can we get a pop? Hey, it's trying to pop. We're back in the green. We're back up on it. But we do need a push of about $1 more from here in order to get out. Now, this actually would be a pretty good day because I would be at it. Well, looking back, we lost $80. If it works, not to get ahead of ourselves here, if it works, we'd make 140 on this. We're risking 80 to make 140. Pretty good risk reward if you ask me. And I'd also exit my swing, which would be a risk of 83 to make 150, which would be nice. It would finish off on a decent note. But again, we wait. Kind of trying to come back to life. When it comes back to life and then it gets above our level, and then we get a little bit of a wick. Can we not get that? Can we get a big ass boner candle straight up through the top of the PT? And then I'll be done. Nope, we get an upper wick. But hey, I mean, it is holding this level pretty good. So I like that look. I mean, if you like, I try to think sometimes about, okay, let's say I was short and I was playing the false breakout. Okay. If I'm playing the false breakout, I'm like, okay, hammer the break down here. Go. And it couldn't do it. So if I was short, maybe now as we come back up, could be a squeeze opportunity. Just try to think about being in both sides of the trade. So because it held, I think that's pretty bullish to me because it held that level. Now, if the market wants to roll over and shit the bed the rest of the afternoon, I don't know. We can't be saved by that. Not much you're going to be able to do. But if not, if market wants to bounce a little bit or just kind of consolidate, Google might have a little bit of juice. Maybe. Because it held that level pretty good. Is tonight the speaking of grandpas, is tonight the debate? Is it tonight? There's no way. can't imagine this is actually going to happen. 90-minute event hosted by CNN, though. Debate starts at 9 p.m. Eastern. But dude, hosted by CNN. Isn't that like kind of, well, is that how, I guess they got to do it on, do they ever do it on Fox? Get like both sides of it. Okay, even if it is hosted by Fox, like, do you want that? Do you want it hosted by CNN? Do you want it hosted by Fox? Do you want, who the fuck do you want to host it by? I don't know. Is there a neutral party? There really isn't. So everyone has a side. Damn. That's tonight though, apparently. I know everyone's gonna be. I know people are very excited to watch that. I mean, I'm gonna be like pretty honest. Like, I feel horrible for Biden. I mean, the guy just needs to retire, but he's not allowed to retire. So here he is, and I don't know. From what I've seen, I don't know how he can physically get up there and do that. How is he going to physically be able to A, stay up past 9 p.m., B, debate against Trump, and then like C, not fumble across every word he says, because that's just how that's just like he's at that stage in his life. It sucks. He needs to be chilling in retirement, taking some walks on the beach, chilling on his lounge, like in his lounge chair, and not doing shit. But here we are. That's the state of the party, I guess, and they don't have another option, and so that's unfortunate. And same with the other side too. It's like now you have Trump on the other hand, who is getting in the news, and of course to a degree, right? How much of that is actually, well, I don't know. I don't want to say that I don't want to excuse any of that shit, because I'm sure everyone does illegal shit. It's just like how bad and how seriously illegal was the shit that you did. It's kind of in the grand scheme what it's all about. But I mean, same thing. Can we get someone who's like 45, 55 in here? You know what I mean? Who's, you know, like, can we get that? I mean, the positive about, I'm not commenting necessarily on Obama. I don't fucking know shit about politics really, but at least he was a younger guy. I mean, at least we can get behind that. You know, now you got old fucks. Just, it's like, is that going to represent? Do they really, represent this country? I mean, I don't know. But that's how, yeah, I agree though. It's literally because I feel bad for the guy. Because he doesn't want to be doing this shit. He has to, because it's the best shot for the party to win. They couldn't come up with somebody else to run against Trump. And so the best chance to beat Trump is probably Biden. And they're like, okay, well, fuck, we got to go with Biden. And the problem is, if he legitimately can't speak on the debates and stuff, that's not going to be a good look. So I don't know. I don't know like what the best solution or answer there is for them. I don't know what the best answer is in general anyway, but I don't know. Exactly. We need someone right down the middle. Can we get someone right down the middle? Which is not really possible, I guess. But someone who's more in the middle, who's somewhere in their 40s to 50s, and I would vote for them without a doubt, even without knowing the policies, not knowing shit. If someone came in and they were like pretty in the middle, and they happen to be like in that 40 to 50-year-old like middle-aged kind of, I'd be like, good. If they're running against someone who's 80, like, okay, I'm voting for this guy. I don't care about anything else. He's younger. He looks pretty good. He's got my vote. I didn't vote that last election, and I have no idea what I'm going to do this year. I really don't. I mean, I really don't know. Like, I just like, it's like, either way you go, you're like, oh, it's fucking this. You get this. You get that. You vote for one thing, and you're going to get, probably what you don't want. You vote for something else, you're also going to get what you don't want, but maybe it's the lesser of the two evils. You got to figure out what the lesser of the two evils is really, I guess. The problem that you have, I think the biggest problem that you have with Trump is that, like, I guess though, because it'll be his last term, he won't be able to run again. Maybe it won't be as bad as last time, but the problem is that he will be immediately from day one. It'll be again country divided, and they'll be trying to kick him out of office from day one through day whatever, 4 years in, guaranteed. And that's all that will be the center of attention. And is that really effective for the country? No. Can we all fucking do something more productive here instead of that? But that's how it's going to be. It's just, I don't know. And then if you get Biden to win, the guy might die in office. And is that a fucking, like, that's terrible. I legitimately, and it's like, you're not even saying that from like a dick. Like, you're not even being a dick. Like, it's like he looks like my grandpa about a year before he died. Literally. He literally looks like my grandpa, how he's shuffling, how he's talking. That is my grandpa a year before he died, or less, like 6 months before he died. I'm like, 2000 going on Goog. Well, I had the loss on Meta. I'm still in Google. I got very close to stopping me. I got 2 cents away from the stop once, and then I got like 5 or 10 cents away from the stop here. But we're still in. It just hasn't done shit. I could get out and say take the break even right now, roughly. I could and move on. But I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, the charts, just let the chart play out, and whatever happens, happens. Yeah, more streamed and divided than ever is very true, which is not really great. Maybe that sets you up from like an economy view too. It's like, well, maybe that's probably not good for the overall economy. I don't know. If you really want to get into that too, you can maybe make that argument. You just kind of got priorities that are not maybe in the best of spot. That's the problem, I think. Is it either way? Whenever happens, whoever wins and stuff. And how could the priorities be when you got people who are 80 years old running the country? Same as Congress too. They're all fucking old. Sitting on gold long. Let's see how that looks. That looks promising. Strong. Broke that flag. It does look strong. It's got to now break this area right here. Very strong today, though. Check out the daily time frame. You got like a false breakdown almost, right? Broke down. Now you're snapping right back. That looks promising. Yeah, I'm playing shares. I'm not trading options. They're on props. They're on prop accounts. It's on a 10K prop account, actually, which I came within $25 of passing the second phase, and then ever since then have been on one of the worst streaks that I've been on. I'm still fairly close. Like, I'm 2 or 3 trades away from passing it, but I have just been losing. Not just on that. I traded futures. I traded at Bitcoin as well. So across the summation of all my trades, I've been losing a lot. But it does kind of suck ass. But yeah, you look at Google now on like the bigger time frames to see if we can just kind of get a feel for it. Yeah, I mean, it is just consolidating its it's fine as long as it holds up. I mean, I don't really see a reason to get out. It still looks good to me. That is, at least. But it does look like we're gonna just get this chop day. At least for now, we're just chopping around. We're not getting direction. Yeah, 100 contracts expiring tomorrow. Hated the 0 day. Yeah, dude, those are the days. Those were the days. I don't think I really traded 0 days very, very often at all, even back when I was playing options, but those were pretty stressful. I would not recommend, I wouldn't go back. I definitely would not go back. But yeah, let's see. While we're fucking around, let's refresh this shit. Come on. Hang tight. So yeah, this month we're down about 1,100 on the month. What the fuck is this? Oh no, we're down more. It hasn't loaded some of these trades. We are down more than that. Yeah. I think we're down like 1,200. 1,300. Hey, even worse. And hey, look at that. We're actually at a 29% win rate, dude. Got to be one of the worst months I think I have probably ever had in the past year and a half of tracking my trading. Meta was 79, and we had the silver. That was a swing from yesterday that lost like 190-ish, something like that, across 2 accounts. Damn, dude. However, we could finish things off on a positive note if Google was to go to our take profit, because that would be closing out of a swing and the day trade. So either way, I'm probably like, if Google flatlines all day and never hits stop and never hits take profit, I'll probably close out of the day trade and the swing trade and just call it a day or a month. But yeah, I'm probably just gonna wrap. Honestly, I probably should wrap things up because it's been like 2 hours, and essentially, I don't expect much to happen. I mean, I don't know how fast we would either hit the stop here or the take profit at this point. It's been slow. I don't expect it to start speeding up anytime soon. So, with that said, I think I'll wrap things up for today. I'll be back next week on like probably Tuesday morning, because I'm going to be away Friday. I'm traveling Friday and Monday. So I'll probably be back Tuesday morning. But there'll be recaps out on a lot of these trades coming up, or a lot of the old trades that I haven't put recaps out yet. There'll be some of those coming over the coming days. And then I will have a June recap out in early July, which will be, I think, very good to look at and watch, because I have a lot of good insight to dive deeper into. So, with that said, appreciate you for hanging out, and I will see you in the next one. Peace. Have a great weekend.